I feel that the cloud that I had is lifting a little bit. I feel a little bit lighter when I literally talk about things that kind of surrounds me, that kind of takes me to different places that is inside my head. So it's really important that all of us talk about our thoughts out loud, either to ourselves or to a camera, and then post it. Or maybe you find a solution within your own voice once you start talking about it. So it's really important why you should journal and why you should write your thoughts down, or at least speak out loud. Maybe you don't have to listen to it any more time. You just speak it out and then you delete the note, or maybe you write it out, you journal it, and you tear the paper. Because because everything that is inside our head, it's kind of wrapped together in a very convoluted manner, in a way that you scribble on a paper and it's all rough clouds and all rough lines, edges striking each other in the most thunderstruck ways or thunderstorm ways. When you speak about something that has been bothering you or something that has been keeping your energy down, it's it's not the same as talking to a friend. It's not the same as bragging about your accomplishments. It's not same as you would just talk to a new person or your old friend. It is not. Sometimes other people's energy, they just showed into you or show into your own aura that you have. Um, and when it happens, you feel more drained. You don't know the energy other person is bringing towards you. When you are sharing your accomplishments or your thoughts, or just speaking out to another person and trying to think about ways to solve them, you are not just talking, you are also absorbing their reaction towards you. And even for once they flicker, or even for once they ignore it, or they get into their own thought, or they start doing their own work, you take it personally. And now their energy, whether it was intended or not, or their expression, whether it was intended or not, it becomes your whole worth of the day. Whatever you were speaking about, whatever you wanted to get your mind off from, now it's kind of exponentially added. I have experienced this more time than ever. And when I come to a camera and I speak about the things that I really want to speak about, the things that matters to me, or speak about the things that has been bothering me, I have found that when I keep my thought straight into a line and then publish it, or straight into a line and then just speak about it, it matters to me. It matters to my mind. I kind of feel like a heavy weight being lifted off of my head. And that's really important. And it's not important for you. It might not be, but try once. Because here on this part of the internet, we try. We try a lot. From past 2 or 3 weeks, I have been feeling this heavy burden of not being able to speak, going back to into my people pleasing shell, and not speaking up, not feeling my voice as confidence, because again, I am in the new area where I do not know anyone. I am this whole new chapter where I'm so afraid down to my core that how will I manage? I am scared, at the same time excited, at the same time grieving about my old life that was in the city where everything was available. And even today, this morning, I was feeling so struck down, like someone gave shot a bowling ball at me, and I was like those things that you drop. See, I'm missing words here. And I felt like that, like all of my 9 standing things. Let me just search what's it's called. Pins. I felt like all those bowling pins that fall down on the struck of bowling ball. I just felt like it because, again, I am all by myself. I should not give that much detail on the internet, but again, like, I have to figure everything on by myself. Everything that I know, I have tried to figure out. I have taken emotional support from people, sometimes financial even, but that does not take away the feeling of loneliness that I feel from time to time. And when I come to think of it, a lot of people are lonely. A lot of people are living a life where they want to be alone, or where they want to be away from the world. But I do not. I always have craved connections. I was on my way to finding myself. I was also, this was missing in my city life. I think this thing was missing. That now that I'm speaking out loud, this is my kind of journaling. I was missing the courage to be with myself. That's all I was missing. I think I had the perfect life. I was going on shows by myself as well, and I had good friendships with issues, but everything comes with an issue. But my relation that I had with myself, it should not come with an issue. Now, when I spoke about it, when I speak or when I talk about it to myself, like what is it that I am missing? Yes, I have the courage to be myself. I have the courage to go to a concert alone. I have a courage to go to my favorite ballet alone or one of the orchestras alone, but I still, when I look at other people and they're with their friends, I feel like I'm missing out on something. I feel like this experience could have been amazing. But I have also noted that when I go with friends, I kind of like find myself to not enjoy their company because I am worried about whether they're enjoying that concert. I'm worried about whether they like that, whether they do not like that, whether they're judging me, whether something is happening according to what they need or not. So all of these things comes with being with a friend. Now, when I'm not with someone, I feel same kind of lonely whether I am with someone or whether I'm not. So, what is it that I need to understand about myself? Is it that I need to be more secure enough or I need to be more comfortable? I am secure, I think, but am I comfortable? The thoughts that comes in, they're more human, like, right? That I should be with a friend or I should be with someone. So what did universe did? It put me in a location where I do not know anyone. And still it sends me people good enough to help me through that process. It has happened from time to time, but I am so ignorant that I ignore it. But now I am seeing through it. So now, why am I in this place? A relationship with myself for sure. The life lessons I have learned so far. And again, why journaling will help you with this. This whole video is about journaling, like why you should write your thoughts down in order to understand them is because you go to the depth of it. You ask yourself the right questions. You have courage. You become courageous enough to let the bubble that you have in your head and all the cross checks that you have inside of your head, they come out on a paper. You write them down and then you think whether they matter or not. And you feel lighter. You feel most lightest. Sometimes I don't know if this problem is with all of the people pleasers out there, but it happens to me a lot when I am in a thinking zone. And by thinking zone, I mean being in my own head, not doing things that I'm supposed to do, or not taking actions enough when I want to, or procrastinate some of the projects that I've been waiting on. Sometimes when I do that, my brain retaliates. It retaliates in a way that it forgets words, it forgets how to form a sentence, it forgets how to speak up, it kind of lowers my voice. And I now note that because that was my survival mode and I have been living in that for like 31 years of my life. So, again, journaling, it's important. It's very important. And journaling does not have to be on a pen and paper. Please, no, it does not have to be. It can be a phone or a voice memo on your phone. Simple as that. You just speak out what you want to speak in Hindi, in English, in Urdu, in whatever language you're preferable with. And you see the change. You feel your tone being changed. You feel the energy being driven up to the vibrational scale. And trust me, I do that once in a while and I feel lifting up. Imagine if I do this every time I feel lower or I feel like I'm not accomplishing enough or I feel like I do not do enough. Imagine if I journal every day and I take out the cloud that surrounds my sun in my own head. I will be unstoppable. I am still unstoppable, but I would be unstoppable because it's all that matters. Recognizing yourself, the confidence that comes with to be in your own voice, to be confident in your own voice, to be in your own skin, to not being afraid of walking alone on the street or walking by yourself, not alone by yourself. Sitting in a restaurant alone, it's not a sad thing. I must amplify on this. It's not a sad thing. It is one of the powerful things in the world that I can tell you. But we do see that as weakness. If we see someone sitting alone by themselves, maybe they are sad. But can you also appreciate the boldness it takes to sit there alone? And yes, that's boldness. But when you journal, you take out the sad part out of it. You take the sad part out of it. You don't have to see that as a sad person. You have to see that as a bold person. Because if the bold person, maybe he was journaling, you don't know that. I hope I make sense to you guys. I hope I do make sense to you guys because I do not sometimes to myself, but I have noted that. that it makes sense. It does make sense even to me once I record, once the camera is off and I re-listen sometimes, and I see that there is a huge improvement, there's a huge change, there's a huge movement that's happening in me. So what do you say when you do that? You say you're being courageous. And how do you get it? You write down every small thing that happens to you. You question, why do I behave that? Why do I behave that way? Why do I not ask enough questions? You go back to your roots. And you see the pattern there. I have recognized, or I have pinpointed my people pleasing tendencies back to when I was 10 years old. Yes, I did that. How? I kept on asking myself question, why? When? What is my earliest memory of this? Or why do I think I do that? Why do I feel like I need to laugh when someone else is speaking or they're sharing their things? Why do my cheeks go here? Like this. Why does that happen? I see that. I record that. And I try still perform that next time, but now I know. At least I know that's the power within itself. And then once I know, I can change my behavior. Maybe we all need therapy, but journaling or speaking to yourself or being in your own mind by yourself and not being able to blame yourself or talk negatively about yourself matters. It does, because once you start recognizing the patterns, the negativity, you have no room anymore. So this is why it's important to write things down, to speak to yourself in whatever way you start. You start in whatever way possible, and then you go from there. You reach a point of saturation where speaking negatively does not work anymore. You may start from here, but as you go level by level, you understand that it does not matter. It has no space in my life. Maybe at this level it is, maybe day 1 it is, maybe day 2 it is, maybe day 3, maybe day 21. But if you see the difference between day 1 and day 21, there are less negative words now. You will start to understand yourself. I'm repeating, but it is true. Happened to me 1 year. Took me 1 year. So do like, share, and subscribe, and I will keep on posting these unscripted way of speaking. I hope it's helping me, and I hope it will help you. If you want to watch them, watch them. If you do not want to watch them, I'm doing it for myself and for people who wants to understand themselves. So I will see you in the next one.